It's time now for the West Holmes Knights Football Weekly Preview Show, brought to you by MRV Siding Supply.
This week's Knights Football Weekly Preview Show brought to you by MRV Siding Supply. I'm Mac Roy alongside Will O'Donnell, and West Holmes coming off a 38-31 loss at home in Knight Stadium on Friday to the New Philadelphia Quakers. And Will was really back and forth the entire night. And the Quakers would score, West Holmes would respond, but in the end the Quakers had one more score than the Knights could respond to.
Yeah, it was just a tough break there at the end, with our third quarterback in the game, and it just a little exchange problem between he and the running back, but unfortunately it happened at about our 6-inch line there, and that was all she wrote. They were able to get that go-ahead score, and it was a heck of a football game, though.
Heck of a game here. Anytime you have a close game like that between two good teams, little things here kind of add up, right? The 3 turnovers, obviously you mentioned the injuries, and those things can kind of make a difference in a game like that.
It does, and you drive yourself crazy going back over that and looking for that one play. But, there's about 100 and some plays running a football game, and they all matter, and that was one of those nights where, unfortunately, the one that mattered the most happened right at the end.
On the other side of things, of course, for the West Holmes offense, throwing for just under 300 yards in the game, passing-wise, and just under 400 yards to total offense. They're, certainly doing a lot of positive things, again, on that offensive end.
Yeah, we're starting to see the big play capability of that offense. Logan Zollers is starting to be explosive again. We just, we just got to get all 3 phases of the game to click, and it's got to happen right now this week. No more important than now.
And so you look at the defense, they got some big stops in the game, obviously forced a couple turnovers on the Quakers, so we know what this defense certainly is capable of as well.
Yeah, we've been tough up front. We saw the secondary really start to play at a high level. I think, despite maybe the record not being what we want it to be, I still think it's there for the West Holmes Knights. Like I said, if they can put all 3 phases together, offense, defense, and special teams, I still think we can make a run in this region.
No question about that. West Holmes now 4-5 on the season. They're 3-3 in the OCC.
Here with West Holmes head football coach Keaton Lepple, the coach. We'll talk a little bit about the game against New Philadelphia on Friday. You knew coming in that New Philadelphia was going to try to use their defense to take control of this game, but your offensive line stood strong and gave 3 separate quarterbacks a chance to make plays.
Yeah, we identified New Philly's probably got one of the best defenses in the conference, as well as the best defensive line in the conference. They bring a lot of three-man pressure, and they're so good up front. Normally they get pretty good pressure. So, for what our offensive line was able to do, like you said, for 3 different quarterbacks, as a kudos to them and how much they've grown since the beginning of the year, and they've became a unit that, we can kind of rely on, but at the end of the day, offense played really well. We did some really nice things. We were able to do really whatever we wanted. But when you have 5 turnovers, it's going to be tough. We only punted the ball 1 time, and then 5 turnovers, and a lot of them were uncharacteristic for us. But you're going to have a hard time winning a game with five turnovers like that.
Morgan Smith, while he was in there, he played a very good game despite a few of those interceptions. Can you tell us a little bit about how he's doing after he was taken out late in the game?
Yeah, they identified, that, he needed to come out, and take an extra look at him. They identified, that he was a little shaken up. So we won't go into specifics, but, he'll be back this week. Most likely he's going to do a little bit tonight at practice. But, we'll have him back ready to go for senior night in our Week 10 matchup. So he's doing a lot better. And, again, that kid's a competitor. Sure, he had a couple turnovers, but that's a kid that fights each and every down to keep us in every ball game that we've been in, especially the last 3 weeks. He's really turned a corner. He's been playing some really good football, shore up some ball security issues, and, we'll feel really good with him back there with the ball.
Coach, we'll talk a little bit about your opponent this week. Holy Name coming in, filling the spot of Mount Vernon, who left the OCC this season. There's a little bit of history here going back a couple years ago in that great deep postseason run. But really, it's 2 schools that are in desperate need of the win to try to extend their season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's obviously a huge game for us. Win, you move on. Lose, you go home. Pretty simple for us. They're a team that wants to establish the run. They want to take some shots offensively. Defensively, they got 2 really good interior defensive linemen. So, it's going to be a battle. I told our kids, you're going to have to fight. We're going to have to fight to survive. We've watched a lot of tape on them. We're about to watch some tape on them right now to really figure out who they are, find their strengths, find their weaknesses. But yeah, it should be a fun one. It's great to have Week 10 at home so you can honor your seniors, and they can play the last game of their regular season at Knight Stadium.
Okay, well, Coach, thanks for your time and good luck against Holy Name on Friday.
All right, thank you.
Jake Sonnell here with Hayden Smith and Braylon McKinney. They're both playing on the offensive line and defensive line this week as Holy Name comes into town. And Braylon, we'll start with you, and then we'll have Hayden answer this as well. But going into that game Friday night, you knew New Philadelphia's defense was going to throw everything they could at you, but the offensive line stood strong throughout the game, giving 3 different quarterbacks some chances to make some great plays.
Yeah, honestly, it's really comes from our coaching down. They really prepared us for that game. They gave us everything they could, great game plan, and honestly, in the end, we just weren't able to execute what they planned for us.
And Hayden, we'll move to you now. 35 tackles and a sack on the season. What's it mean to you to be able to get out there and really stay in on every single play and be a factor on offense and defense?
This year, I've been having a pretty good season on both sides of the ball. I would like to see our record be a little bit better, but here coming up in the next few weeks, this is the most important stuff. Playoffs, we need to get a win here on Friday to, stay in and keep on going. But I think we're ready for it. We're going to have a good practice this week and keep the ball rolling. And I don't think the Holy Name knows what they got coming for them. We're ready for them.
You've got the green wave. We know that Holy Name's going to come in here, and you're going to give them everything you got. What's it mean to you guys to be able to play one more home game for sure in front of your home crowd on senior night here for West Holmes?
Honestly, it just means everything. This is a great community we've grown up in, and we're very thankful for everybody, especially all the fans that come out each and every Friday night. And we're just going to give it everything we got for them and for ourselves, and just for the red, white, and blue one last time, guaranteed. We're going to give it everything we got.
Hayden?
Being on Knight Stadium one last time, we ain't going to get a playoff game even if we do win. So, definitely going to leave it all out there in the field and, going back to the locker room that there was nothing else that we can do. And hopefully we'll come home with a win.
Okay, guys, what are you doing to get ready for the Holy Name Green Wave?
We are, that sled right there, hitting it every single day. We are getting prepared. We know it's going to be a physical game. Their run percentage is 60-40, so we know it's going to be a very physical game, very run-heavy offense they have. So we're going to do everything we can to be physical this week, hit each other a little bit, and just prepare for the physicality of this game.
I think always comes down to the O-line. That's where the ball starts. We're prepared for them. They can't run behind us, so it's all on us, But yep, that's about it.
Hey, well, guys, thanks for your time today. Good luck Friday in Week 10.
Thank you.
Or if you're looking for new windows, doors, or siding, there's no better place to go than MRV Siding Supply. Stop by and see them at their beautiful showroom on County Road 624 in Millersburg. They have all the top products and brands, including Provia. Stop by and see them or visit them on the web, mrvsiding.com. That's MRV Siding Supply. But West Holmes will take their 4-5 record into Week 10 back in Knight Stadium. Of course, they'll take on the Holy Name Green Wave out of Parma Heights, Ohio, and Cuyahoga Heights. And for this matchup here, a non-conference game, you think about Mount Vernon leading the conference, one extra non-conference game, one extra home game for West Holmes to cap off regular season play. Holy Name a record of 3-5 of the year, coming off a 13-3 loss a week ago to Elyria Catholic for them. This is, of course, the first time West Holmes faced Holy Name since the 2021 playoffs, when West Holmes defeated the Green Wave in the regional championship that year, 31-21, to go on to the first ever trip to the state tournament. And look at this game, maybe not quite as big as that game, but the same token, Holy Name is sitting at 13th in the region, West Holmes sitting at 16th, so a big game for both teams, wanting to guarantee themselves a spot in the postseason.
Yeah, a lot riding on for the Knights. We're sitting at 16. It's senior night. It's at home. You win, you're in. You don't need much more motivation than that to show up and play a football game. So, we'd like to see us go 2-0 all the time against Parma Heights Holy Name, and I think they're gonna.
For Holy Name, at 1-4 their last 5 games, they've averaged just around 10.5 points per game during that stretch. And for the West Holmes defense, I'm sure they're wanting to keep it that way here in this game.
Yeah, it's not a team that's gonna try to win a shootout against us. I think they're a team that's going to want to run the ball. I think it plays to the strength of this defense right now, and I like the matchup personally.
There's one more game, not only to try and get a win here, Will, but also, as you mentioned, trying to put all four faces together here, and I feel like you're pretty good going into postseason as well.
Yeah, I'd like to say we're healthy. We're trying to. That's been something that's kind of reared its head all season for us, but you just want to be healthy, play your best football Week 10, and go into what I think is a region that West Holmes, I still believe, can make a run at.
Again, a big game here on Friday. Don't miss it here on WKLM. We will, of course, be video live streaming that game on the WKLM YouTube page, courtesy of our partnership with Claxon Communications. Our hometown football Friday night pregame show begins at 6 p.m. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. Well, for Will O'Donnell, I am Mac Roy. Special thanks, of course, to Jake Seidel, alongside head coach Keaton Leplaw and Hayden Smith and Braylon McKinney. And that's been this week's Nice Football Weekly Preview Show, brought to you by MRV Siding Supply.
You've been watching the West Holmes Knights Football Weekly Preview Show, brought to you by MRV Siding Supply.